What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to EP09. Alright, so we're back. I hope you guys are enjoying your holidays so far, but bodybuilding does not take a holiday. So let's get into this one. Starting off with an update from Wesley Vissers. Wesley is currently 10 weeks out from the Arnold Classic Ohio and 12 weeks out from the Arnold Classic UK. And you guys that follow my channel, you know that I was excited to see Wesley's name on those competitor lists. Now, the more I see from Wesley lately, the more I honestly just can't help but think that this guy could have placed top 5 at this year's Olympia. Maybe he's just slightly improved in these recent updates, but man, the width and the detail of the back, I mean, those are just some of the many attributes that really makes Wesley a threat to win any show at any time of year. I mean, the guy's just always a threat, and he's going to be that much more of a threat to that top 5 at the Olympia this year, because despite being qualified, he actually took home the win at the Romania Pro very shortly after this year's Olympia. We still get to see Wesley on stage in just 10 short weeks at the Arnold, Ohio, and again in only 12 weeks at the Arnold UK. And again, for those of you who might be new to bodybuilding or just getting into classic physique, this guy right here, Wesley Vissers, as I often say, Wesley is even more classic than the classic physique division itself. I really think that he should be the standard for classic, and I've said that many times. Now, he will have some stiff competition at these Arnold shows, which are very, very good classic competitors. He'll have to go head-to-head with Michael DeBull, Urs Kalasinski, Breon Ainsley, Terrence Ruffin, all of which have beaten him before. But here's the thing, you guys. If he can sneak past even just one of these competitors, that would really confirm that he is further progressing in this sport, and we are witnessing it. So let me know in the comments below where you guys think Wesley Vissers can place in a very, very competitive Arnold Classic lineup, and we'll discuss the Arnold UK lineup as that show gets a little closer. Alright, next up, another competitor that we are expecting to see on both of those Arnold Classic stages is Andrew Jack. Now, Andrew actually said that his prep officially starts in the first week of January, but I really think that means that he's just going to go back and train in California at Camp Psycho again, because this guy did not get out of shape after the Olympia. What I did notice after the Olympia is that Andrew seems to be doing more compound free weight movements lately. You know, the bent over barbell rows, the seated shoulder presses, the upright rows. And you know, I think he's doing this to switch things up and really try and spark some new growth. He does look to be at least as big as we've ever seen. You really wouldn't expect him to put on that much size considering how lean that he stayed after the Olympia. But you know, we were really led to believe that Andrew was going to take an extended off season and compete later in the 2024 season. Part of the reasoning, we thought, was in order for him to put on some more size. But as long as he can get his travel visa, he will be at both the Arnold Ohio and the Arnold UK. And of course, he came third in the Arnold Ohio just this year, and he's actually won the Arnold UK in the past. So I do understand why he's going to do these shows. And we can expect him to place very highly again at both of these shows. I mean, he's a top 3 threat without question. But my question to you guys is, should Andrew be doing these shows, or should he be focusing on the Olympia? Like I said, should he really be going back and just training hard in order to put on that mass? Because without that increase in mass, how far can Andrew really expect to progress in this sport? Especially when the mass monsters are making a serious comeback like we're going to see in 2024. Anyway, you guys let me know what you think in the comments below. Alright, next up, we have the King of New York, Tonio Burton, who recently announced that he will be returning to the New York Pro to defend his title on May 18th. So Tonio has a ton of time to really ramp things up and a ton of time to make improvements. And the name of the game for Tonio has been to get after that mass. He's really looking to pack on some more size so he can continue to move up the ranks in the open division. Because, like I just finished saying, the mass monsters are making a serious comeback in 2024. You know, take a look. We've got guys like Nick Walker. We've got Good Vito, who's going to be making his pro debut at the Arnold Classic Brazil. Of course, Rubiel Mosquera, aka Nexzilla. He's a big part of that resurgence of the mass monsters. Michael Crizzo, I mean, even Samson Dauda, you guys. But here's the thing. Without the class, you can only get so far on sheer mass. Antonio, he has the class. And the mass, I really think, is on its way. I do think he has more room on his frame to pack on some more muscle. You know, a considerable amount of muscle at that. But yeah, nobody can really train for things like those flowing lines, you know, that small midsection, the proportions, the symmetry. Tonio easily has the ability to push for the top 5, even the top 6 at the 2024 Olympia, given the fact that he has those attributes in spades. But it will come down, I think, to how much bigger he can really get. And he will have a true test going up against Rubiel Mosquera at the New York Pro. Now, of course, if you were to ask Tonio himself, he would tell you that the true test is really for anyone that's going to be standing next to him in particular. He is the current king of New York. Tonio truly believes that he can go all the way to the top in this sport. And after a breakout year like we saw in 2023, anything could be possible for Tonio Burton. Alright, so last up, we got an update here from Nick Walker, and Nick is about 7 or 8 weeks on his road to recovery here. He actually says that he's just starting to do some light hamstring work now where he's really suffered that tear, just to get some blood flow into that area. And you know, he's had some decent quad work that he's been able to get in at this point, but needless to say, I mean, the upper body is absolutely insane right now. Now, in Nick's latest YouTube video, I'm going to link the entire video in the description below for you guys. Nick says that he's actually up about 15 pounds since he was forced to quit out on the Olympia prep. Now, he was about 255 at that point, and now he's sitting around 270 pounds morning weight. And you know, it looks like Nick's chest is actually growing, which was something he did have to work on. Now, mind you, in this video, it was chest day, but regardless, I really think the chest looks rounder, fuller, just overall bigger, which I think can only be an advantage for Nick. He is putting a lot of faith into his muscle memory in anticipation of him getting back on the heavy leg training, but as long as he is relatively the same proportions that we were seeing just before his injury, which I have no reason to believe that his legs would have atrophied in that amount of time, I don't think there's a lot of risk in Nick showing any further imbalance between his upper and lower body. I really just don't expect it to be any worse than what we saw before. And Nick was gaining some size in the quads. His hamstrings, actually, I think were perfect before the injury happened. But you know, hamstrings are kind of funny, you guys. They're the one muscle that you can tear, and there's a chance the torn muscle could actually look like it has even more detail in it. Fouad Abiad used to say that a lot, actually. Now, will that be the case for Nick? I mean, there's a lot of questions surrounding Nick right now, and that's just one of them. You know, does he plan to compete in 2024, or does he plan on going after that special invite? Does he deserve a special invite? For the record, I think he should compete. Or, if he does have to compete, what show is it that Nick is going to choose? So 2024 is going to be a very interesting season for Nick Walker and for the fans of bodybuilding. And you guys let me know what you think Nick is going to do this year in the comments below. Anyway, that's it for me in this video, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to EP09. Be sure to like and subscribe.